All right, folks, so we are here harvesting taro roots, or as they're called in Spanish, Malangue. Originally from Asia, they've come all over the world. They've become a staple in like Polynesia. So these are the plants. They're known for their big elephant ears. And what is so beautiful about the Malangue plant is a lot of things. The whole plant is edible. All of it needs to be cooked. So the leaves, they turn into really nice cooked greens. This is a starchy staple root, and it grows exponentially, and it requires basically no upkeep if you put it in the right spot, which is it either needs a stream of water like this, tributary from the Sunina River, or it needs like a gray water. So like a lot of the showers in Coruña, they either run into bananas or taro roots. And then it replenishes itself. It will grow, one plant will turn into 5 plants, will turn into 25 plants. And then when you harvest them, you can take the root bits and you can plant them, and they will also grow into Malangue. So we've gotten this big boy, and we're gonna try to get another big boy over here. So the way to do it is you stab around it to cut all of the connecting roots. So that's what we're doing now. I prefer, the locals use a machete. I prefer a fixed blade steel knife because you can really get leverage, where when you start bending a machete, it feels like the machete might snap. And okay, so we're cutting around it. The mother Malangues are usually surrounded by all these babies, which makes it a little harder to access. Okay, but I think we've cut enough. Maybe tilt it. Still pretty fixed. It's like Malangue wrangling. Wow, this one's a big one, so it's really deep. But like reeling in a big fish, the prize will meet you at the end. Had I known this was going to happen, I would have titled the video Malangue Wrestling. Oh, she's coming. All right, let's do this. Oh, buddy. Okay, wow. That's a big one. Whew. My gosh. Okay. Now you can eat the whole plant. We're gonna put this back in the ground. So to do that, you just want to cut right under the first root growths. So we lose a little bit of the vegetable by leaving that, but then this is such a beautiful big plant. Put it back. We add the other one we harvested. These magical plants will regrow themselves in about 4 to 6 months. So wow, this one, as you can see, is much bigger. I thought this was the mother of all those plants. This one's the mother. And you can even just cut into the stream, because this will just wash somewhere. And this is all the Malangue planting, and will grow. Each one of these will just grow more Malangues. So in terms of sustainability, this is a crop that the most labor is harvesting the fruit of it. So that's pretty rare. Usually harvesting is the easiest part. But Malangue takes care of itself. And it's good we got to this, because I bet you it's a little bit rotted at the base. Oh, it's not. So that's a really beautiful one. But once they reach this size, they kind of start to fade away. So like when we're looking at all this is gonna like these catch and find their home. So it's a very abundant plant. Like when you're talking about creating abundance, I'm very interested because I don't have time to be a full-time farmer or gardener in the plants that kind of take care of themselves. So bananas do that. Bananas, require no labor. And bananas are this very benevolent plant spirit because they only have one harvest and then they die. So their whole lives they're like unfolding to hand you a bunch of bananas, and then they die and feed their children. So there's a beautiful kind of symbolism in plants like that. This is, I think, if not the biggest, one of the biggest Malangues I've ever presented. So I feel like a fisherman again. This is the biggest fish I ever caught. Okay. Cool. Well, friends, don't put them in your mouth before you cook them. Your mouth will turn all itchy and your throat might close up. So even though it's a very beautiful plant, it needs to be cooked. So you can eat it like in chips. Basically treat it like a potato. You can make potato chips, you can make mashed potatoes, you can cook it, you can put it in soup, you can put it in stew. It needs to boil for about 15 minutes and then it's ready to go. At Karuna, we've made it in the air fryer. So, I mean, this is probably 10 pounds of starchy vegetables. So it's like 10 pounds of potatoes. I'm not sure what that runs nowadays in the US, but I much prefer to just get my feet wet, literally, and rustle the Malangues out of the ground. Guatemala.